Resource Employee Care, more than a company, we are an agency that provide care for employees. Why is it so important to care for employees? Because people bring their issues, their problems, they bring them to work.
Well, compassion, if you look at the essence of that word, it means suffering with. And it's so funny, we take the word passion and we turn it into something that really it's not wired to be. A passion means an empathy and a cohesion with people. So when I say compassion with somebody, I'm willing to suffer with them at their worst of times, to experience their joys at the best of times. And in the middle, I think where most of life hits in that neutral zone, to help people really understand once again their purpose, how to get the most out of where they're at.
The number of times I've had employees tell me about Daniel's visit to a hospital, Daniel's visit to a grieving family member, Daniel's leadership in walking a family through a funeral service, or exciting things about the birth of a baby, or purchasing a new house, or becoming debt-free. All of those things bring great excitement to us as business owners, because you see the joy and the care that our employees feel.
From my view, I wouldn't want to do business without it to start with, because my HR issues just basically went away for the last 10 years, actually, that we've been doing this. And people are getting real help. I mean, people that have gotten cancer and single moms, things have had to be taken care of in a way that I could never do that.
I've had this relationship with Daniel for 9 years, and what motivated me to engage his services is that I couldn't handle all of those human resource crises amongst our people.
Well, when I think of Resource Employee Care, I really think of you, Daniel. It's just been a great service to our troops. I think most of our employees are very private people, and it's just it's been a real nice service to have you come alongside them in times of need. So it's just been an incredible benefit, soft benefit really for our employees that has been a good thing for us.
To have Daniel service us once a week, get to all of our employees, talk to them about anything they have on their mind that's going on in their personal life, work life. It's a huge support for us, because we have someone kind of third party, not connected to the business, non-biased, just listening to them and supporting them in anything they need, whether it be personal finances, personal relationships at home, relationships inside the shop or within the field crews. It's just a huge support for us.
Just like when I tell the coworkers out there, I let them know, speak to you guys about anything. These are the things you've told me in the past, you guys help me out with. I got a list of things, first of all, financially, help me buy my house, point me in the right direction, down to even marriage counseling that, helped save my marriage. And also, you guys calling my family members in the hospital. I mean, just so many things that I can keep going on over the years. And it seems like I got a lot of things I've been through, and you guys have been there for me each time, and I appreciate it very much.
And typically the employees just will not come to the owner and say, hey, I'm having problems in my marriage, or I'm having problems with my kids. But you've always been available for our people 24 hours a day. You've been very willing to hand out your cell phone. I know you receive calls on the weekends, you receive calls at night, and it's just a benefit that it's making a difference in my people's lives.
Daniel was always there when my father was passing away. They were good friends. He led the service, kind of got our family through that, was incredibly supportive in with my wife and I going through the adoption process, and in fact actually led us to the right agency, and now we have a little baby boy.
One day I got the call that my brother had passed, and I was shocked. I left work, I made preparations to fly out of town that night, and at some point in that afternoon Daniel called me, and one of my coworkers had let him know what had happened. And we had a conversation. To be honest with you, I have no clue what we talked about. I'm sure it was very nice, but I was in a moment of emotional grief. But what really struck with me is that a couple of days later, Daniel contacted me, and he told me that my brother's passing, of course, was a terrible thing, and we had some talks about that. And we talked about my brother's widow and his 3 young children, and that how all the resources that were available in that area were focused on them. As terrible a tragedy as they were going through, they did have resources. And he explained to me that he was thinking about my mom. You know, so my mom had lost her child. He was 39 years old, but you know, that's forever a child. And what he did was he set a representative from that area to come and visit at the funeral home and get introduced to me, then to my mother, and offer his services. So the gentleman showed up with some pamphlets, a business card and his phone number, and offered himself 24/7 to help support my mother. And what happened there that touched me was that Daniel recognized the need that I didn't even recognize in my own grief at the time, and that I was able to therefore offer such a support to my mother just because I work 3,000 miles away at a company that employs this service.
So I would tell anybody that's actually looking at this and wondering, is this worth it? Is the investment worth this? Absolutely, because healthy people give you a healthy company. And I think that's really crucial, something that people miss. And I could sit here all day and tell you about countless lives that have talked to me about the things that they're dealing with and what Daniel has done in their lives and their extended family. So absolutely, I think I would say if you're going to invest in something, this would be a great place to invest in.
When our HR department exposed to him that we had this kind of a resource, at his orientation, tears filled his eyes, knowing that he would have a place that he could, or someone he could call on to help him deal with life.
If I had to summarize the program and what we think about it, I would say don't wait, start now. I only wish we had found out a decade before, 20 years before, and been doing this all along. I just think it's a vital part of employee health, satisfaction. If people are happy in their personal life, they're generally better employees. They get along well with other employees, they're more productive. But while those are good things, the efficiency in a business part, it really isn't the real joy in doing it. It's seeing and knowing that your employees are healthy and really avoiding what could be deep crisis in their life. That there's an outlet for it and they feel cared for, and there's a genuine place to go for help.